everybody, my name is Cara on Fire and welcome to Palia. Today we are going to be learning about spice farming and the best locations for it. So, spices, what are we going to be clarifying in this video? For a lot of your cooking you require certain spices. So you can see any spice, this usually consists of either SweetLeaf or SpiceSprout, and in rare occasions it will require you to use HeatRoot or Dari Cloves, and these are the spices we're going to be looking at today. HeatRoot can be found in really weird places, so usually like this, you can see it right there, and it is scattered around the cliff faces on this region, but it's very important for some cooking recipes, so you're going to have to climb up and try your best to get your hands on them. I'll show you where this is in just a second, but here we are. HeatRoot, lovely. You can also get HeatRoot as prizes off of NPCs, but that is going to be now and again and not all the time, so it might be worth having a look. I literally found this one just outside the Center Sables where you can fast travel to, so definitely worth checking that area out. They can spawn all around the cliff region of this cliff right here, and particularly this one as well. Most common area you'll find them, to be honest, both of these, Statue Garden and Proudhorn Pass areas on the cliff. That is the most common areas you will find HeatRoot. But I will say this, it is not extremely common, so you just have to keep your eyes peeled. Honestly, when I do a lot of farming for stuff, especially foraging, you're kind of doing lots of things at the same time and trying to put everything together, so you're multi-farming in a way, not just specifically farming for one thing. Oh, I think we've just seen another HeatRoot, like we were saying, so I'm going to climb up the top of here and grab that one as well. Here we go. Yep, there definitely is. There it is. That's very sneaky, so there you go. HeatRoot. Yoink. There you go, there's another one. So that's just a couple locations, and like I said, go to the other areas as well and you'll find HeatRoot. Actually, I see one right now, just right over there, right across from us. SweetLeaf is a herb you can find in the north of Bahari Bay, and you're going to want a lot of it because you can use this as well as the other spice for a lot of recipes and interchange between the two. Either way, it's a key resource for cooking and you're definitely going to want it. So how do you get your hands on it? Well, basically, there is like a little rotation I do follow for this one, and it is particularly in one region of the Bahari Bay area. There's a little circuit I do around the outskirts and the flooded steppes, and a little bit towards the thorny thicket as well. That kind of zone area right there is usually the best place for herbs in general. So what you're going to be doing is, even if there's mushrooms, pick up any herb you can to bring forth any other herb, such as SweetLeaf or Dari Cloves, or you find SweetLeaf, pick up the SweetLeaf. I usually find tons in the area. I spent probably about 20 minutes on this earlier, and I ended up with nearly about 30 of mushrooms and SweetLeaf, and the mushrooms are good anyway because you can make tons of veggie stew, which is going to make loads of money if you get that. So mushrooms are definitely good for recipes as well. So you can get lots and lots of SweetLeaf in this area, and I highly recommend doing a little circuit around it and going around and around and around and picking up loads. And also, while you're doing this, it's also a great time you can do iron farming, and well, if you need deer meat, there's loads of deer in this area, particularly by the flooded steppes, so also very ideal for that. Now, we're talking Dari Cloves, we're talking a different situation because they are incredibly rare. You can find them in the north of Bahari Bay, anywhere, and what I would recommend to you is to just do your usual farming. Just pick up all the spices you can, all the mushrooms, and keep trying to cycle for a chance of Dari Cloves, because I've never found one that consistently gives Dari Cloves, I've only found that they rarely share a spawn with other spawns. So the best area you can probably go around is around the outskirts of Flooded Steppes, but you can get Dari Cloves in these other areas in the north as well. But the most convoluted area that has a lot of spice and mushrooms is definitely this area right here, which I'd highly recommend cycling for your chance at Dari Cloves. You can see right here that I actually managed to find some by doing this process. Very luckily in the top left of the map up north. So you can see here I got some Dari Cloves, and usually that is a mushroom spawner. So there you go, that kind of gives you an idea. But yes, I just highly recommend just keep cycling and farming a lot around this area for your chance to get them, because you'll need Dari Cloves to make things like sushi. You won't need it very much, but you will need it. Now let's talk about SpiceSprouts. This is your very first spice you'll probably ever use when it comes to cooking, and it is an awfully common one you're going to need a lot of. The best place in Palia, in my opinion, in Kelama Village, it's the only place you can get SpiceSprouts, is the mirror fields, and I would highly recommend going at night time, because you can see them really well at night because they glow and they're orange. They're big glowy orange herbs. So I highly recommend farming SpiceSprouts at night, just because the visibility of being able to see them much better. They are around the mirror fields. You can have a look around the mirror fields ponds and ruins. They are also located down by Leafhopper Hills, which is just down from mirror fields, and you can find rarely some nearer towards Gillyfin Cove. So that's the best places for SpiceSprouts. And if you're going there at night, you're going to see them really easy. In the day, you can still see them fine, but not as easy as nighttime, so you might miss a few. Is kind of my recommendation. But always, if I'm going up to mirror fields, I'll find a ton of spice to go and pick up, and then I'll bring it home. You'll need to go up these areas anyways to talk to NPCs and all sorts, so the chances of you coming up here quite regularly is, well, you will be, because there's also the bundle ruins up here that you will want to visit later on in the story, which I will not spoil any further than that. But yes, hopefully this video helped you out, and I hope you'll be able to find lots of lovely spices for your cooking or whatever else you need it for. Maybe you need it for a quest, maybe you need it for something else. Anyways, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!